Hi guys, and welcome back to Nick's Home Renovation. I'm at my 1936 bungalow renovation. I have plenty of cool things to show you today. A lot of things have been going on. Firstly, before I start, apologies for the delay in getting this video to you. I've had a very interesting month. My wife welcomed our first ever baby into the world, a little girl called Lydia. So I've been on paternity leave and dealing with nappies and sick and crying in the night and everything that comes with a baby, but loving it. Really love her and enjoying it so much. And what's so nice is I've got a little team of guys here as well, so the team of guys are still working away, just with the odd phone call from me, and work can continue. So let me do a little walk around. So since my last video, I need to remember because it's been so long since I've been here. Quite a lot has gone on. I've had a nightmare with the fence out the back, which I'm doing a separate video for. Long story short is my brother usually does it for me, but he's too busy now with his business. So I hired someone from Trade, were absolute cowboy builders, stole a lot of money from me, and I'll be doing a video all on that about how you can avoid cowboy builders and what I did to get my money back. And I've now got new fencing guys here starting today, that have redone one side of the fence already. So I've had to rip out everything the other firm did because it was such a bad job, and get this firm to redo it. It was wonky, it wobbled in the wind, it was basically just bodged. That's the problem with Trade. Even people with loads of reviews can just be so dodgy. Other than that, you can see behind me, bifold doors in, windows everywhere, really makes a difference. And we've actually got a nice secure house. And no foxes coming in the back, which is such a joy for me because my mornings consisted of clearing up fox poo every single morning for months and months and months. So I'm really happy about that. And the plasterers have been here boarding everywhere. So they boarded most of the place now, and they've just started on the plastering last week, and they did 3 days this week. So they've got quite a lot to do, but they've made a good start. So about a third of the plastering is done, maybe a bit less. But they've started in this room, which is the kitchen, because the kitchen comes on Friday, tomorrow, yes, and starts to go in next week. And the painting also starts getting miscoated here. But let me take you around, so stop me babbling on, and show you everything that's been going on. So we are in the kitchen diner, and as you can see, there's very dark walls, which is always a great sign that the plasterers have been. So we've got these lovely bifold doors. So there's a door on the end here that opens, and then these will all slide in. They're not completely in properly yet. The window man just did it for security for me to get everything sorted. And then panning around, we've got this nice one window in the middle that opens outwards, which is going to be dead center where the sink is. And all plastered as well. And then over here, one more window where the dining room table will be. I've done these two lights up there. I would show you the utility, which has also been plastered, but as you can see, I've turned it into my junk room. So this has all been plastered and plasterboarded. These walls have been plasterboarded, and the plasters also, you might remember, there was a huge disparity here between the old house, which was about, I'd say 80 mil further back than the new part. So we had to insulate that according to building control. 20 mil they said, but we actually put 50 mil in there because we had so much space. We had to build it all out. So they boarded that, as well as just doing lots of boarding here, there and everywhere, making all these corners good where all these rough edges was, because this was the old end of the house right here. So that old end of the house is now completely gone, and you can really start to see the finish. I'll show you briefly the fence. I won't go too far out there because it's so muddy, but this is what the guys have redone today on this left hand side, and then this is them removing the right hand side, ready to start this tomorrow. So as I said previously, both sides were done, but done appallingly, so I had to redo everything back here at my expense, but I'll talk through that on another video, because I'm doing a specific video just on cowboy builders, which by the amount of emails I get from from people that have had cowboy builders in, I think a lot of you will find quite interesting. I'll start back at the front door and work my way through. New front door as well. So I went for this light grey, can match a 30s property. So this is a 30s design door. And then what's eventually going to happen is I'm going to have the number in there in glass with the number in a circle to look quite cool in there. Plasterers have bonded this front room, which I always sort of see as a baby or child's playroom. I think it's a perfect little size for a kid's room at the front here, or a small office I guess, but I see it as a baby's room. And you might notice that this is all been plasterboarded and studded out. So what happened here was, there was a wall here, but I think I showed you previously, here there was a huge crack and you could literally push it even though it was brickwork, and it just wasn't safe. So we removed the brickwork as it was so thin. It's basically only the depth of about less than this. It literally shook off and pulled out. So then I removed that wall, we built the stud work and secured everything in there, make sure the structural engineer was happy. It's not a supporting wall anyway. And then we've studded that out and created a new door there as well. Nothing's really changed in the bathroom. The plumber's done a lot of prep. We've taken this wall back flush for it to be dot and dabbed, and the plumber's begun to drill holes for his pipe work. So he's got his pipe work for the new ensuite upstairs down in that cupboard, in the hallway cupboard, which we'll box in eventually. He's got loads going on in that cupboard, but he hasn't started on this bathroom yet because he's prioritised the other ones. So there, that black pipe in the right hand corner there, that's his new waste stack coming down in here, along with my new fuse board and the gas meter. Busy coat cupboard indeed. So this front ensuite, probably the master bedroom, has all been either bonded, all the electrical work, or boarded out, dot and dabbed. And the bay window has nice new UPVC windows. I really like the symmetry of this with the opening at the top, and then these three more solid. Couldn't have them as all one piece, as it wouldn't have been structurally sound enough with the loft above supporting it. And this window here as well. So now we're standing where the old garage was, and then that's the new ensuite that's formed as well, and then more dot and dab walls here. All of these walls have been dot and dabbed as well. You can sort of visualise what it's going to be now with the shower over here. You can see the plumber's first fixed the shower valves. There's my cubby hole with my cable here. I'm going to put a light in there for shampoos and things. And then you can see my cables here with a mirror going to be here, 2 lights either side, vanity unit below, obviously shower in here, walk-in shower, and then toilet down here where that waste stack is coming up, with my electrical vent here, and then obviously the lights above, and the towel rail on this wall here. So the plasterers have got a plaster. I think they're starting this room first next week, first job. Another room that's been fully plastered. New window, and another room full of absolute junk. So this is all the bathroom things, but at least the bungalow's secure now and I can actually order these things. And that's where the old soil stack was, if you remember, or sorry, coal fire was. So we had to treat that before boarding it out, otherwise it would just seep through. So the guys treated that and then dot and dabbed it, and we had to create that little edge just to protect it from ever coming through again as well, that little lip. But done a very neat job in what I call this as the sort of snuggy lounge room. This is new, so my carpenter's beam, stud work all here to make an opening. Actually really good storage, because bungalows always have, most houses are 2.3 meters, this is 2.5 plus, so you've got such good storage in here. So he's built this little cubby hole, hopefully you can see with this camera, and I'm eventually going to move these cables into here, probably over here, for all my Cat 6 cables and network cables, and I'm going to put a light in there as well, which is a really easy job for me. More plastering here in the hall, and then you can see a brief glimpse. The plumber has put one radiator on just to see. So this is the style we're going throughout. We've got grey ones and white ones. I really like that sort of look, especially in a 30s house. But we've got to whip that off again to paint behind. More plastered walls, and then in the back of the old garage, another fully plastered room full of junk. And another window in, and all the steel work boxed in. There's the cables for my lights and a TV on the wall. Staircase, I believe, was in my last video. I'm pretty sure it was, so not new for you guys that have been following. But the newest thing up here is the doors at the back. So I've got these lovely new doors. So with a Juliet balcony, I've got to do the actual balcony part, but I'm really pleased with how this looks. It always looks worse with all that rubbish tape around the edge to protect it whilst we paint. But a little bit of work to do, make good all round here. But I really like the view out there. It's going to be lovely, especially when the Juliet balcony part goes on. And then not much else has changed up here. The plumber's run a few pipes. That's for the radiator, and there's also another radiator in this room. Got my two cubby holes, one over where the bath will be here, one just decorative. I've put lights in there as well. Even though I can't see my cable, there's a hole there for the light. And the plumber's just run some pipes for what will be the towel rail here. Sink here, toilet's going in this zone. And you can see all of his hard work here, everything in copper. I think if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing properly. And then this is the waste stack that I showed you that goes down in the fuse board cupboard, and where the toilet here will be connected to. And my job eventually is to board all of this out, which I need to think about soon. But since I've had the baby, my brain hasn't been 100% focused on here, but I'm still happy with how it's going. Yeah, and then that just brings us round to my favourite room, the old back of the house and new kitchen diner. Can't wait to get that kitchen in next week, and the utility, gonna make a real difference. And I'll make sure I film everything, as I'll film my carpenter putting it all in. Hopefully here I can set up the camera and no one will nudge it, as it's actually my job. Whereas when I work for clients, it just seems other people come in and move all of my things. But thanks to everyone for watching and subscribing. Sorry again for the delay in getting this video to you. I'll be posting loads now. This is when the real exciting stuff happens. We've had all the building work done, and that's the stuff that they're here every day, but not much sort of visually changes. So now this is the real cool part. Lots of videos, lots of posts on my Instagram, which is also 1936 Bungalow Renovation or Nick's Home Renovation. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.